Hi, Gus. I've been reading your discussions and really enjoying them. I wanted to clear up some confusion about added versus naturally occurring sugar. So, why don't we go first to the American Heart Association recommendations, and of course, even the dietary guidelines. Both, even the World Health Organization, by the way, they're looking at added sugar. Okay, so these recommendations are looking at the sugar that's added to our food. So this would not be the sugar in 100% fruit juice, in milk, and in fruit. All right, so that distinction is made. All right, and why is that distinction made? If we look chemically at the sugar in fruit, juice, soda, for the most part, we're seeing about an even split between glucose and fructose. And as you learned in the lecture and in your text, fructose has loads of problems. So we get fructose from high fructose corn syrup, and we get that from sucrose, we get it from honey, brown sugar, raw sugar, etc. Agave is a bit different because it's even higher in fructose, so we now know that's a problem. Okay, so chemically we can kind of say sugar is sugar. Then why the distinction? Well, one, and you looked at this in your lecture, a lot of the distinction has to do with maybe two things. One is that when you get sugar from a fruit or from milk, you're getting loads of nutrients. Okay, it's not just sugar. You're getting fiber, you're getting fluids, you're getting vitamins, you're getting minerals and phytochemicals as well. So the sources of natural sugars tend to be much more nutrient dense. And this is actually true even of the juices. Okay, so that is one reason why we make that distinction. Now, the other reason is, especially when you're looking at fruit, the amount of sugar in fruit tends to be less than the amount of added sugar in sweets. Yes, there's some sugar, but it tends to be less. Now, before I move on, I want to make that underscore that one more time. Sorry about jumping around. Oh, okay. Sorry about jumping around with you. It is here. When we make these recommendations, we're looking at added sugars. And this is really important because you're not counting up all the sugar in your food and saying you can't have more than 6 teaspoons a day. That would be far too limiting. We want you to eat fruit. We want you to drink milk if it's part of your diet. You don't have to limit total sugars to 6 teaspoons. Okay, so let me go back again. I hope I am not making you dizzy here. Um, so there, the guidelines are about added sugar. But what about juice? Because a lot of you looked at juice, and this is where it gets very fuzzy. Okay, yes, juices are nutrient dense, better than a soda because you're getting the juice from a fruit that is packed with nutrients. But juices are high in calories, they are low in fiber, and they are also high in sugars, right? They're natural sugars, but they're sugars. Now, there is some research that looks at people who drink loads of juice with all that sugar, and they see similar correlation to health problems. Okay, so we tend to focus on sugar sweetened beverages, but if you're drinking juices all day long, we might see some of the same issues. So I hope I didn't totally confuse you even more. So let's kind of sum this all up. These guidelines address the added sugar. You do not have to count up the sugars in your diet and keep them to under 6 teaspoons or 9 teaspoons a day. We focus on the added sugar because that tends to come from products that are kind of useless to us nutritionally. Fruit, we're not, for most people, worrying about. a rare person with diabetes whose blood sugar is very sensitive. Okay, for most of us, fruit is something that we can enjoy, and that gives us a lot of nutrient bang, okay, for the buck. All right, juices are another issue. If you're drinking juices all day long, I saw a couple of students mention this, you may want to switch from the juice to the fruit. Okay?